Max 1 ready? You want to take? Okay, you want to take Max 2? Okay, I'll run this.
The key lost a set for you? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it was ever reset.
Yeah, it should be set.
What are we starting with? Can we start with last repair Doppler?
I'll go Doppler.
Still not ready?
Oh, good evening, everyone. National Weather Service issuing a tornado warning now, and that is for DeKalb County until 9:45. Doppler radar indicating a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Eider, and that's 9 miles south of Trenton, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. So this is a continuation of the line of storms that we have. At 9:45, again, that's a 30-minute tornado warning here. Areas near Eider, so this is going to be the area with the red circle most likely that we are seeing here from the NexRad Doppler radar. Let's go ahead and go back into the NexRad Doppler radar, take a look at some of the shear products, and it's going to be in these areas over here from Pisgah over towards Henniger. So what they've done here is they've issued this tornado warning. Looks like it's going to be based on this storm here in and around Eider for that storm, and realistically that storm is going to be crossing the state line here probably sooner than 9:45. So again, that's extreme northern tip there in DeKalb County. They do have more of a southeasterly movement to that, so it does look to me like this storm is going to be out of DeKalb County well before 9:45. So this storm tracking east, southeast, and all indications on our live radar is that it's almost already into Georgia. So again, tornado warning and sirens are probably sounding all across DeKalb County, but the most threatening weather there is moving through Eider and moving into Georgia here as we speak. And that's one of the reasons we have our own live radars, so we can give you the best information, the most up-to-date information on these storms as they track to the east. So I'm going to put a storm track on here, and Lauren Jones is going to take you through that storm track. And then we're not only going to talk about that northern DeKalb storm, but other areas along the line farther to the south. Here's that storm track. Going to add that. And what we're looking at is a possible tornado indicated on radar. It's tracking to the east. And in fact, I'm out too far for any names to show up. So I'm going to get back in here a little bit closer. We're going to delete that storm track. And then we're going to take you through this. Again, Eider, you need to be in your storm shelter right now. You need to be in your hallway. This is a storm that probably has winds maybe at 70 to 80 miles per hour. And it will continue to move to the east and southeast. As I mentioned earlier, the worst part of this storm has already moved out a bit. In fact, it looks like it's just to the north and east of Eider, and the fresh sweep there. This is really moving. It's most of again, it's hard for me to continue a tornado warning here in northern DeKalb County when I know on our live radar that the worst part of the storm is just about all the way into Georgia now. So let's go over to meteorologist Lauren Jones with the latest on that storm and the storm that's from Pisgah down to section Macedonia. A lot of lightning picking up there as well. Lauren?
Yeah, I mean, even outside of this tornado warning, because like you said, the rotation that we're seeing, even when I looked at the NexRad radar out of High Top that the National Weather Service is looking at, it still looks like the rotation is now already into northwestern Georgia right now. But outside of the tornado warning, we do continue with those severe thunderstorm warnings with the threat for damaging straight line winds. So the bright reds, the leading edge of that is where we're going to be seeing the high wind threat. So even outside of the tornado threat, that's going to stretch all the way from the southwestern side of Eider through Pisgah, down through Henniger section in Macedonia. And this is all going to be tracking to the east-southeast. So that's the leading edge of that is through Macedonia and Henniger right now, tracking through Grove Oak, Rainsville, and eventually into Fort Payne and Mentone as well. So the tornado warning is only for the extreme northern end of DeKalb County, but we continue with the threat for severe thunderstorms for the entire, almost the entire county of DeKalb County, as this leading edge of that line of severe weather is going to be moving through. So I'm going to step out of the way so you can see that storm track on there moving through Henniger and Grove Oak in the next couple of minutes. 9:21, the arrival time in Rainsville Rainsville. Again, this is going to be, or in Sylvania, 926 for Rainsville. This is going to be for the threat for 60 to 70 mile per hour straight line winds. 927 for Fife, 932 for Valley Head, and 933 for Mentone. If that gives you any idea of how quickly this system is moving, this is racing off to the south and to the east at around 40 to 50 miles an hour. So even though it looks kind of far away from Mentone, again, it's racing to the south and to the east. So you may want to go ahead and just get in the interior of your house in the smallest room and stay away from the windows. So even though there is not a tornado warning with this line of thunderstorms, still the threat for some damaging straight line winds within that. So the tornado warning is just for the northern end of DeKalb County. It does include Ider, but all indications are showing that that rotation has already moved off into northwestern Georgia for that. So our primary concern is this line tracks through DeKalb County is going to be for that straight line wind threat. So again, moving through Macedonia and Henniger right now, again, racing off to the south and to the east. You're still going to have very heavy rain behind that leading edge of that, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and again, the potential for some small hail. But our primary concern, again, is going to be that damaging wind threat. So as Brad zooms that out a little bit, you can see stretching from Ider, Henniger, Macedonia, down through racing through Rainsville, Grove Oak, and this is even going to stretch as far to the south as Marshall County as well. So heads up for Gunnersville and Albertville. It's probably going to be thundering and lightning and Arab, but it looks like the strongest wind threat is probably going to stay to the east of Arab. So Brad's got that line drawn on there. That's the leading edge where we're going to have that 60 to 70 mile per hour straight line wind threat as this races off to the south and to the east at around 50 miles an hour. So Rainsville, Fort Payne, Grove Oak, Geraldine, Crossville, Collinsville, Gunnersville, and Albertville, you're going to be under the gun kind of for the straight line wind threat with this. But again, noting for that tornado warning, because I don't want to forget about that. Again, I know the sirens were probably sounding for DeKalb County. That only included the northern end, including Ider and Sulphur Springs, but the rotation, we're seeing it from our radar and the NextRad radar, has already moved off into northwestern Georgia right now. But it looks like we are picking up another area of at least some very tight rotation, weak rotation between Pisgah and Henniger right now. Potential along that line. We're getting the notches in there, kind of the breaks in the line for those quick spin up, those low end tornadoes. So this is why we're saying, even though there's no tornado warnings out of this, tornadoes are possible, those brief spin ups on the leading edge of this line. So severe thunderstorm warnings should be taken just as seriously as this moves out of Jackson County and into DeKalb County right now. So for that new rotation that we're looking at, again, this is not actually included in the tornado warning, but just some brief rotation that we're picking up now on Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar as it tracks into DeKalb County right now. Brad has got a new storm track on that for just that part of the rotation. Keep in mind that the leading edge of this is going to give us the potential for straight line winds all along that. So for at least the rotation, the potential for a brief spin up tornado, that's going to put it in Stamp, moving through Stamp and New Home right now through the Council Bluff community in Hammondville in the next about 5 to 10 minutes. Valley Head, if this holds together, 930, 931, and 932 for Mentone. So this is also racing to the south and to the east. So all along this leading edge where we get those notches, the breaks in the line, that's where we have that potential for those brief spin-up tornadoes along that. So, Brad, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, as we go to Max 2, I really want to focus on those two areas. You've got the tornado warning for northern parts of DeKalb County. It's a very slim sliver of that, and they've continued that warning over there into Georgia. But the area we were just monitoring, that's where we have that. In fact, there isn't even a severe thunderstorm warning out for Henniger. I would be staying away from your windows if you live in Henniger, because that's a pretty dangerous storm out there, especially given the fact that it's on that leading edge of the line of storms. And if you see behind me here, not only do we have some rotation here showing up, it's east of Pisgah. It's also showing that we've got a lot of lightning in here. The lightning indicates this upward vertical motion in here, and that's what we know it takes to get some of these tornadoes to spin. So even though there's not a tornado warning for this section of the county, we're definitely looking at this with a big concern here, especially as it moves towards Mentone. It'll be there around 9:32, and that's about 12 minutes from now. So overall, even though the sirens are going to sound for the entire county there, and they probably continue to sound, but the storm that's capable of that tornado for the tornado warning earlier is now in Georgia, and you can see it right here. It's this one right here with the lightning bolts, but the one that's stronger right now, and the strongest storm in DeKalb County is moving through Henniger as we speak. I'm going to go ahead and delete the storm track. National Weather Service has canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for Franklin County, Tennessee, Lawrence, Limestone, Madison, and Morgan County in North Alabama. And they will continue to cancel out the watch. It's set to expire at midnight. I think it'll be